The movie starts off in Russia, with a prison transport van carrying a bunch of inmates about to be moved to a high-security prison. But before they make it there, they stop at a gas station and let the prisoners out to stretch their legs after the long ride. Among them is a guy with a skull tattoo on his neck. We'll find out his name is Kraven. When they reach the prison, Kraven finds out he's sharing a cell with this huge dude named Movu. And we learn that Movu really hates having anyone with him in his cell. He warns Kraven that the longest anyone stayed with him was just a month before he took care of them for good. Movu says he'll probably last 3 days max, but Kraven doesn't care. He just goes to sleep. Next day, Kraven heads to the prison yard, starts working out on equipment that actually belongs to the boss of the biggest gang in the prison. The gang boss's guys come over and try to get Kraven to stop, but he straight up ignores them and keeps going. Of course, this pisses them off, so they go to jump him, but Kraven just knocks their heads together and drops them both cold. One of the prison guards takes Kraven to see the gang boss, and we find out this boss totally controls the prison. He tells Kraven he screwed up by hitting his men, asks if he even knows who he is. Turns out, Kraven knows exactly who he's dealing with. The guy's name is Simone, a big-time crime lord moving guns and drugs. And while they're talking, Kraven quietly picks up a tiger fang necklace off the floor without anyone noticing. Simone is surprised Kraven knows who he is and asks him about it. Kraven just tells him, "I'm a hunter. I hunt guys like you." Then out of nowhere, Kraven attacks Simone's men, wipes them out, and goes for Simone himself, ending him right there. When a guard bursts in, Kraven just tosses him off the upper level. Then Kraven makes a wild escape, scaling the prison walls super fast, bullets flying everywhere, but nothing can stop him. We realize Kraven actually has some kind of super strength, letting him run and climb like crazy. He escapes and runs straight into a snowstorm, when suddenly a wolf shows up, looking like it's about to attack. But the wolf just stares at him and runs off. Kraven bolts for a waiting plane. Turns out he went into prison on purpose, just to take out Simone. On the plane, he starts scrubbing off his skull tattoo. Meanwhile, the prison guards find a dead body in the snow with the same tattoo, and figure Kraven must have died out there, so the whole thing gets swept under the rug. Now we jump back 16 years to Kraven as a kid, with his brother Dima in an American boarding school. Suddenly, a teacher tells them their dad, Nico, is here to pick them up. They're surprised. Why would their dad show up now? He rolls in with a fancy car, and as soon as they meet, they ask him about their mom. He tells them their mom took her own life, couldn't fight off her illness, so she just gave up in the end. Dima asks if they're going to her funeral, but Nico coldly says people like their mom don't deserve one. You can see the pain on Kraven and Dima, since they know their mom always clashed with their dad. Nico's a big-time gang boss and arms dealer, and when their mom had enough of it, she left him, locked herself away, and cut ties. Now Nico tells Kraven and Dima he's taking them hunting in Africa, promises it'll be a blast. Flash to Africa, where a little girl named Kaylee is playing with her grandmother's deck of tarot cards. Her grandma tells her the cards can show the future, has Kaylee pull 3. The first card says when she grows up, she'll be a fortune teller like Grandma. The second says she'll see something super tragic. The last card is about strength, showing a person next to a lion. Grandma shows Kaylee a strange potion, says it can save someone from death and give crazy powers. At the same time, Nico and his son start their hunting trip, looking for a lion. When they find one, Nico eggs Kraven on to take the shot. He wants him to be brave and skillful, like a real hunter. You can see Nico ignores Dima completely, since he thinks Dima is weak and scared. One of Nico's guys, Alex, asks to join the gang, but Nico just mocks him, says he's useless, only brought him along to show them the way in the jungle. Alex gets insulted and bitter. As Kraven and Dima wander off, they suddenly come face to face with the lion. They lock eyes. There's this heavy, silent understanding between Kraven and the animal. Instead of shooting, Kraven lowers his gun, can't pull the trigger. Suddenly, Nico pops up and shoots the lion in the back, making it furious. The lion attacks Kraven, but Nico hits it again, this time in the leg. The lion grabs Kraven by the shirt and disappears into the jungle with him fast. At the same time, Kaylee is off with her parents, who are busy filming wildlife. She hears a lion's roar, sneaks off after the sound, and finds the lion with Kraven. The lion looks at her. It's kinda like he's asking her to help Kraven. Just then, lion's blood drips onto Kraven. The lion leaves. Kaylee realizes this is the tragedy her grandma saw. She pulls out her magic potion, gives it to Kraven. Inside, the magic kicks in, mixing with the lion's blood. Kaylee screams for help, and soon a helicopter arrives to take Kraven to the hospital. Before he leaves, Kaylee slips him the lion card. The doctors work desperately to save Kraven, but nothing works, until suddenly his eyes open, now totally the color of a lion's eyes. The doctors are baffled he survived when it seemed impossible. Next day, Kraven's brother Dima hugs him, happy he's okay. Nico insists Kraven comes home. There, Kraven finds a letter from his mom, begging him not to become a gangster like his father. Nico calls out Kraven, yelling at him for not shooting the lion and for putting his and his brother's lives at risk. He tells Kraven he needs to be fearless to take over the gang one day. Nico brags about killing the lion and shows its head mounted on the wall. This devastates Kraven, who feels like it should have been him who died, not the lion. He storms out of the room, upset. Suddenly, he notices a falcon at the window. The two share a look, and Kraven gets that his place isn't at home with people, but out in the wild with animals. He packs his stuff, including the tarot card Kaylee gave him. When an old bottle of the magic potion drops to the ground, Kraven remembers it saved his life. That night, he sneaks out and climbs the fence to escape, but falls from the top. Yet nothing happens to him. He's fine. Next day, he heads to the port, boards a ship, and sets out for Russia. He goes to the place where his mom lived before she died, and as he walks there, he runs into a stampede of wild buffalo. Instead of panicking, he stands still, letting them pass, and when they've gone, he's left puzzled, starting to sense a weird connection with animals. He finds the place where his mom lived and starts a new life. One day, he's in the forest, writing in a journal about his new animal senses. He sees a running gazelle, chases after it, and discovers he's not just fast. He can leap high like the gazelle. He finds it easy to climb trees now, sees like a hawk, his senses all sharp. Kraven spots two hunters killing buffalo for their horns, losing his cool when he sees all the dead animals. The hunters try to scare him off, threaten to kill him, but Kraven just snatches a knife from the ground, takes them out in seconds. He realizes his destiny is to rid the world of evil, hunt down criminals. Snapping back to the present, Kraven's on a plane, still holding Kaylee's card. He returns to the forest. When he opens his phone, he sees a message from his brother Dima, checking in, asking if Kraven will visit for his birthday like every year. Kraven soon stumbles on a gang killing and poaching buffalo. When he confronts them, their boss tries to threaten him, but Kraven's not scared. As they charge him with their truck, Kraven slides under, pulls two out of the back, wipes them out, then jumps into the cab and finishes the last two. The boss escapes, but Kraven has seen his license plate. Next, the boss goes to his own boss's office, tells him about the forest attack. The crime boss, who keeps a notebook with the names of every crime boss and all their men, shrugs it off. But Kraven shows up, confirms the man's name, strikes it off the list, and kills him, stringing his body up behind the office door. Meanwhile, Kaylee is at a memorial for her best friend. Turns out Kaylee is a lawyer, and she tells everyone her friend was killed by Simone's mafia for digging into his crimes. Kraven is nearby, watching her. After the service, he approaches Kaylee and gives her the tarot card. She immediately remembers he's the boy she saved years ago. Kraven tells her he took down Simone to get revenge for Kaylee's friend. Kaylee, surprised, asks how he found her. Kraven replies, "That's my job. I track people down. I'm a hunter." He asks for Kaylee's help. At home, Kaylee Googles Kraven, finding stories about Simone's death and other mafia bosses killed in brutal and mysterious ways. The media's calling the mystery killer the Hunter. Next day, Callie meets Kraven, and he reveals he really did gain superpowers the day she saved him. He shows her his list, full of mafia boss names, and asks Callie to help him find them faster, since he still has more names to cross off. She says she'll think about it. Cut to Alex, the guy Nico mocked on the hunting trip, now a gang leader carrying a backpack he never takes off. His assistant tells him Simone died in prison, and it was the Hunter. Alex barely cares, sees an opportunity to grab Simone's territory. He calls a meeting with 3 of Simone's toughest guys, tells them he's taking over, and wants one of them as his partner. Simone's guys get pissed. Alex shows why he's feared. His backpack is connected to a device in his body. When he disconnects, he transforms. One of Simone's guys shoots him, but the bullets can't hurt Alex. His body's become hard as a rhino's hide. Alex just shrugs off the bullets and reconnects the device. Suddenly, Alex's sniper wipes out the rest of Simone's guys, leaving only 2 of them. Alex tells them only one can be his partner. One moves fast and kills the other. Alex declares him the new boss. That night, Dima is playing piano at a nightclub, while Nico meets with Simone's new boss, offering protection and distribution in exchange for a cut of profits. It's clear Nico wants to take over all of Simone's operations. When the new boss agrees a bit too quickly, Nico gets suspicious. Suddenly, Alex's men burst in, shooting at Nico and his crew, but Nico's guys take them out. Dima is hiding under the piano, terrified. After the fight, he goes to check on his dad, but Nico just yells at him for being a coward. Alex finds out someone left a USB at his door. It's security footage of Kraven breaking out of prison. He realizes Kraven is Nico's son, the Hunter killing all the crime bosses. Alex orders his aide to contact the Foreigner, a notorious assassin, to take out Kraven. The Foreigner starts his mission at the prison Kraven escaped from, looking for leads. A guard pulls a gun, but the Foreigner messes with his mind using hypnosis, steals his weapon, and kills him. Meanwhile, Kraven is in the city, sneaking into his brother Dima's apartment. He surprises Dima in the bathroom. Dima is thrilled to see him and says they'll spend the whole day together. That night, they go to a nightclub where Nico shows up and tries and fails to get Kraven to come back home. After dinner, Kraven and Dima go back to the apartment, but Kraven can't sleep since he's so used to the wild. He goes outside and sleeps in the yard. Next morning, he comes back inside to say goodbye to Dima, but finds his brother's been kidnapped by a gang. Kraven loses it, jumps off the building, chases the gang's car. He tries to break in and save his brother, but the car's bulletproof and the gang shoots at him. Still, Kraven doesn't stop. The gang takes off in a helicopter with Dima. Kraven hangs onto a net attached to it, trying to pull the chopper down while getting shot at. Eventually, he crashes into a rescue buoy, losing his grip, and the net slips from his hands. Kraven is furious he couldn't save Dima. He tells Kaylee what happened, gives her a description of one of the gang members for her to look up. Kaylee promises to get information soon. Kraven tells his father about the kidnapping. The gang sent Dima's finger to Nico, demanding $20 million in ransom. Kraven wants him to pay, but Nico refuses, worried he'll look weak to other gangs. Kraven's pissed and storms off. Kaylee digs up info. Dima's been taken by a guy named Omar in Turkey. But the informant is actually working with the Foreigner and tips Alex off, who calls Omar and tells him to prepare for the Hunter. Kraven arrives in Turkey, storms Omar's building, wipes out everyone, asks Omar where his brother is. Omar admits Alex set the whole thing up, but suddenly a missile is launched at the building. Kraven and Omar escape just before it collapses. Kraven survives and takes down a bunch of Alex's men. He calls Kaylee to warn her Alex's guys might target her next. He tells her where to lay low, which she does immediately. Meanwhile, Dima is with Alex, who reveals he was the same guy with them in the jungle when the lion attacked years ago, still obsessed with proving he's better after Nico disrespected him. He explains the device on his back and how a London scientist created a formula that gave him rhino strength. The foreigner shows up to report Kraven survived and to show a rare poisonous plant Kraven uses for his weapons. They realize the plant grows only in Russian forests, giving them Kraven's location. Kraven and Callie make it to his forest hideout, just as a panther attacks. But it's a fake-out. They're actually friends playing. Callie's shocked. Alex's men, with Dima and the foreigner, track down Kraven's place. Alex makes Dima call his brother, then takes the phone and tells Kraven they can team up against Nico, who's betrayed them both. Kraven hangs up. Alex and his men gear up and attack Kraven's cabin. The panther mauls a ton of the men, then runs off. Kraven takes out the rest one by one. When Alex realizes his crew is down, he calls in a helicopter to hit Kraven with missiles. Kraven tries to dodge, but gets hit by one of the foreigner's poison darts, starts tripping out, losing control. The foreigner moves in to kill him, but Kaylee comes out of nowhere, shoots the foreigner with a dart, ends him, and gives Kraven the magic potion again. Kraven recovers fast. Meanwhile, Alex and the remaining men think Kraven's dead, until a stampede of wild buffalo rampages through, wrecking all their cars and men. Kraven goes with the herd, reaching Alex. Alex disconnects his device, fully transforming into a rhino man, and starts pounding Kraven hard. He's clearly way stronger, but Kraven manages to hit Alex's device, weakening him. Kraven ties him up with rope, throws him in front of the buffalo stampede, and they trample all over him. Right before he dies, Alex tells Kraven the truth. His dad, Nico, was behind the whole thing. He sent the breakout video as bait to get Kraven hunted, knowing Kraven would take out Alex for him. Dima almost shoots Alex out of revenge, but Kraven stops him, telling him not to become a murderer. Later, Kraven confronts Nico in the forest. Nico admits he knew Kraven was the hunter all along, used Alex to do what he couldn't. Nico didn't want to dirty his own hands, especially if Kraven wouldn't kill Alex on command. He says the plan meant he could always win in the end. Kraven is shocked his dad would risk Dima's life. Nico says he knew Kraven would save him. Kraven tells his dad, "I killed every crime lord but you. I just can't bring myself to do it because you're my father." He walks away. Suddenly, a bear charges Nico. He tries to shoot but finds his guns empty. Kraven emptied out the bullets. Kraven walks away, ignoring his dad's screams. A year goes by. Kraven goes to visit Dima for his birthday, but finds out Dima's working with Mafia now, taking over Nico's business. Dima confides that a doctor in London cured his fear, and he can now shapeshift like a chameleon, copying how other bosses look and act. He's wiped out every rival gang, becoming the new crime boss of Russia. Kraven tells Dima he can't let that happen, but Dima dares him to try. At home, Kraven finds a letter from his dad, bragging that he isn't sorry for anything he did, and saying he's proud Kraven is as strong as him. He finds out his dad made him a coat out of the lion's fur. Kraven puts on the jacket, looks in the mirror, and gets ready for the next battle, with his own brother. And that's the end of the movie. If you like the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to Cinema in a Nutshell. See you in the next summary. Peace.